We are told this lie everywhere in movies, in songs, in books, and across every social media feed we scroll through. The idea is that somewhere out there, wandering the world, exists a single person who will magically fill the void inside you, heal your deep-seated anxiety, and make your life finally feel complete. We buy into the concept of a soulmate as if we are only half a person, and in finished draft waiting for an editor to finally make us a masterpiece. But let's look at the truth with brutal honesty. This isn't romantic. It is dangerous. When you look for salvation from your own depression or loneliness in another person, you aren't looking for a partner. You are looking for a therapist, a savior, or a temporary patch for your internal wounds. The problem isn't that you want love. The person-to-person connection is a basic human need. The problem is that you are asking another human being for something they physically and psychologically cannot give you, the stability that must be born within yourself. Expecting someone else to be the sole source of your joy is a recipe for suffocation. It places an unbearable, unfair burden on them and keeps you in a state of perpetual, agonizing need. You are essentially handing them the keys to your internal kingdom, and when they inevitably fail to maintain it exactly as you want, you blame them for your unhappiness. When you aren't happy with yourself, you hand the remote control of your mood to someone else. Think about the dopamine loops we live in today. If they text you, your brain gets a massive hit of reward chemicals. You're on top of the world, but the moment they stay silent for a few hours or reply with a slightly colder tone, your brain enters a withdrawal state. Your anxiety skyrockets, and your head fills with toxic thoughts. I'm not interesting enough. They found someone better. They are going to leave me. This is not love. This is emotional dependency. In this state, you stop being the subject of your own life and become merely an echo of someone else's mood. You try to be perfect for them, you hide your quirks, and you become convenient just so they won't leave you. But can you really be happy in a relationship where you are constantly afraid that your happiness is a fragile glass ornament? You are essentially building your house on sand. True security comes from knowing that even if the relationship ends, you will survive, because your worth was never pinned to them in the first place. You are currently trading your autonomy for a false sense of security that will always leave you trembling in the dark. There is a saying that bears repeating: relationships don't solve your problems, they highlight them. If you have a core of insecurity, a deep-seated fear of abandonment, or a struggle with self-worth, a relationship will bring that to the surface tenfold. Think of a relationship like a high-definition magnifying glass. If you have a small crack in your self-esteem, the intimacy of a relationship will turn that crack into a canyon. You will start to control, to feel irrational jealousy, or to seek validation in every single word they speak. People often think that if they just find the one, they'll feel better. But a relationship isn't therapy. It's a partnership between two separate, adult individuals who are responsible for their own emotional health. If you haven't learned how to be calm and content on your own, you will bring that noise and chaos into every conversation. This isn't your partner's fault. It is your responsibility. You will find yourself projecting your childhood traumas and your unhealed scars onto them, turning your romantic life into a battlefield of expectations that no one can win. You must learn to face the silence of your own mind before you try to fill it with the noise of someone else's presence. So, does this mean you have to be alone forever? Absolutely not. But it is crucial to change your priority. Your happiness is your territory. You must become a person who is genuinely interesting to yourself. What does it mean to be interesting to yourself? It means having passions that have nothing to do with your phone. It means building worlds, whether that's through creative projects, coding, writing, or learning a craft. It means being able to sit in a park for 30 minutes without checking social media for a hit of validation. When you become a person who has their own goals and their own boundaries, you stop being hungry for attention. And that's when the real magic happens. Other healthy individuals are naturally drawn to people who don't need them to survive. You no longer choose a partner out of desperation. You choose someone who adds value to your life, not someone who rescues it from the void. By loving yourself first, you build a perimeter around your heart that only allows in those who respect and cherish the version of you that is already whole. A relationship should not be the foundation of your life. It should be the roof. The foundation is you, your self-respect, your daily habits, and your peace of mind. Imagine two pillars holding up a temple. If those pillars lean on each other for support, the moment one shifts, the whole roof collapses. But if both pillars stand strong and independent, they can support a massive, beautiful structure together for centuries. This is the difference between a parasitic relationship, where you need them to exist, and a collaborative relationship, where you choose to build something together. You must build your life as if the partner you're waiting for might never arrive. Why? Because when you live with that level of purpose, you become magnetic. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. You begin to appreciate the silence of your own company, transforming solitude from a painful void into a sanctuary for growth. You don't need a witness to validate your existence. Your existence is valid by virtue of your own awareness. We live in an era of performative happiness. We see perfect couples on our screens and we think, if I had that, I'd be happy. What we don't see is the argument they had 10 minutes before the photo, or the crushing insecurity one of them feels that is being masked by a filter. When you base your happiness on a romantic ideal, you are chasing a ghost. You are letting an algorithm tell you what your life is missing. If you believe your happiness depends on someone else, you will live in constant fear of losing them. You will become suspicious and controlling, which ironically pushes the very people you want to keep further away. This is the irony of neediness. The more you crave someone's presence to fill your emptiness, the more repelling you become. But when you are full, when your cup is overflowing with your own projects and self-love, you do not need them to save you. You simply invite them to walk beside you. If you are struggling with the feeling that you need someone, you need a training manual for self-worth. First, implement the 24-hour rule. If you feel an overwhelming urge to text someone for validation, wait 24 hours. During those hours, do something productive for yourself. Clean your space. Create something. Prove to yourself that you are capable of regulating your own emotions without an external fix. Second, audit your interests. Are your hobbies truly yours, or are they things you do just to seem attractive? Find one thing that you do purely for the joy of it. Third, learn the power of the word no. A yes born of fear is worthless. A no born of self-respect is the foundation of a healthy ego. Finally, forgive your past self. You might have chased people in the past. You might have been desperate. That was a version of you that didn't know their own worth. Forgive that person and move on. When you become the most important person in your own life, relationships transform into the shared creation of something beautiful. Don't be afraid of being alone. Only in solitude can you truly hear the quiet voice of who you are. Once you hear yourself, you will become invincible. You are not a half. You are a whole world. Start building that world today. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. This means recognizing that the only person you are guaranteed to spend every single second of the rest of your life with is you. You might as well become the kind of person you are proud to wake up to. Your life is not a waiting room. It is a masterpiece you are painting every single day. Make sure you are the one holding the brush. Root your happiness in your personal growth and the small ways you honor your own potential. Read the books that expand your mind, take the walks that clear your thoughts, and invest in the skills that make you feel capable. You are the protagonist of this story, not a side character waiting for a hero. The hero you have been waiting for is actually you. Once you meet that version of yourself, the version that is confident and self-contained, you will realize that you never really needed anyone else to make you happy. You were always the one who held that power. The world will try to convince you otherwise because a self-sufficient person is harder to sell things to. They can't sell you a fix if you aren't broken. Stand tall in your own space. When you stop looking for someone to complete you, you finally become free to find someone to share your completeness with. And that is where real, healthy love actually begins. It begins with the realization that you are enough, exactly as you are. The silence isn't your enemy. It's your workshop. The loneliness isn't a curse. It's an invitation to get to know the most important person in your life. Stop waiting. Start living. Build your kingdom, and let the right people find their way to your gates, not because you need them to build the walls, but because you want them to enjoy the view. You hold the brush. You own the canvas. Now, go create something that makes you proud.